What's up, Success NPs?
Hi there, friends.
Welcome to another episode of the Success NP Podcast. We are going to be diving into the deep topics pertinent to nurse practitioners and in the healthcare landscape. I'm your host, Sandra.
And I'm Jackie King.
And we are going to be talking about picking an advanced degree program to pursue your NP licensure in, and some of the things that we wish you would have thought about while picking our programs and how we can kind of help you navigate that if you're thinking about becoming a nurse practitioner. So again, do your own research, but this is a rough guide to help you guys pursuing that degree. Kick it off, Jack.
I was going to say there's like so many programs available that sometimes it can be hard to pick one. So you want to weigh all of your options because that can really make or break your experience in every aspect of becoming a nurse practitioner, how you feel about it going in and where you end up at the end of it.
Also, your experience for your clinicals are also going to shape like what you think you can do with your degree. So the more options they give you, the more preceptorship opportunities you can have. If that's what you want, then picking your program. Let's be selective. Let's start off with, of course, the decision-making process, navigating that. We want to make sure we're going to an accredited program. Did you hear about those nurses that I guess went to a school here in Florida that wasn't accredited?
I thought they just bought their license or diplomas and they were practicing. Yeah, I still hear about it because we from family that live outside Florida. I'm like, I am not one of them. I've been a nurse practitioner for a while. I went to school legit. But yeah, that is super important. If you want to go to school that's accredited, first and foremost, basics. It's like dating someone. You have to at least be accredited to date me.
Or get it through the door.
Yeah. Don't pick me up from my house. This is way back when I dated, like how long, I don't know how long I've been married for, but dating was the worst. So is finding a nurse practitioner program.
Yeah. You have to have a car and you have to be accredited. Okay.
Right.
Like those are basics. So accreditation, what does it ensure? It ensures that they're meeting an established standard of quality. It's going to prepare you to take your licensure and your certification. So it's going to help you get where you need to go, and you're not going to get your degree and all that stuff revoked because they're not accredited. So look up the organizations. There's two. I think we've got the Commission on Collegiate Nursing Education and the Commission for Education in Nursing. So again, check those out. Make sure that your program is accredited first. And then
specialty tracks, right? Like if you know you want to go into family, you want to be more specialized, do pediatrics, you really want to look into the programs or the tracks, I should say, that the program has. Because of course, that's really significant to what you want to do. And if you're not sure, then family is a great way to go. Family, you can do pediatrics, you can do adult, you can do women's health, you can do a lot of those things. But then consider, do I want to work in a hospital setting? Acute care might be the way to go. And so you really need to make sure that they have the tracks that you want. And what do those tracks look like? Are they good at providing those tracks, or is it just look good on paper?
Yeah, that's really good. You know, it's funny. I chose adult because at the time I knew I didn't want to do family, and I don't know why I knew that, but I didn't think that I wanted to treat children. I've always had a fear of treating kids. Just again, I don't know why, but I've always thought I just never wanted to make a mistake calculating a medication. And those are things that I can't live with that.
Yeah.
And so I just knew I never wanted to do it. But again, my degree isn't even offered anymore. Just having an adult degree or having adult certification track, it's not, no, you have to do adult Gero.
Oh, I didn't know
which at
that.
the time I didn't choose adult Gero. Yeah, you have to be adult Gero or acute. You have to choose because, and so I guess now I'm in a weird spot where I can work with gerontology patients, like older patients, but I can't do acute because now acute has become its own brand. So I'm kind of in a weird spot. Like I don't think I can renew in my spot again. So I can't ever let my license lapse because adult.
I mean, I did family because I was an OBGYN, LND, and then I knew I wanted to do OBGYN, but I didn't want to pigeonhole myself in case I ever wanted to change. So I was like, let me secure a broader future for myself and just go the family route. And back then they didn't have all these different tracks. And if I wanted to do women's health, there weren't a lot of programs available, which I'm sure that has changed now. I know it has changed now, but so I'd end up doing family. I think it's a broader spectrum.
Yeah, because I can't even get a job at CVS, CVS,
crazy,
because I can't treat kids.
Yeah.
So it definitely limits you if you're an adult nurse practitioner, for those that are thinking about. But I'm also okay not working at CVS. So I'm okay with letting those opportunities go.
Well,
but if you're thinking, go ahead.
Sorry, you cut out. No, yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of crazy though. I didn't realize what the adult that you had done. The same goes with the hospital though. So a few of my fellow nurse practitioners down here, we kind of got grandfathered in under the family track with the hospital to be able to round on postpartum patients, let's see, because now all they want is acute care. And so I think that really depends on your state, of course, your nursing laws, the hospital, all of that. But that's something to consider. Like I know a nurse practitioner went through the whole family route, but wanted to work in the hospital only as a hospitalist or whatever it may be. She had to go back to school and get the acute care. And I was like, oh, that's commitment, first of all. But you really need to know, is what I'm trying to say, what you want to do. Or at least if you're not sure, go with a broader route like family.
Yeah, that's good. Good advice. So clinical rotations and preceptorships is another thing. Investigate the program's clinical opportunities and preceptorship arrangements. Now, we had a very different experience from our NP degrees. For our master's degrees, you had to find your preceptors. And so if you listen to another episode, guys, you'll hear Jackie's traumatic PEDS experience. But with me, I didn't have to find any of my preceptors.
Amazing.
My program laced us with preceptors.
Yeah.
That's a game changer.
That's how it should be.
Stress.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Hearing your stress with that, I'm like, it is nice for the birds.
Yeah.
But again, I didn't know that when I was choosing my program, but you may or may not have known that. And that's something to keep in mind is, am I going to have to find all my preceptors, or is that something that comes with this program that they're, for me, I might spend a little bit more money to have that done for me. Because you're going to have to pay for it maybe with another program,
that's what I was
with another
say.
service. Attention, all nurse practitioners and NP students, are you tired of feeling the disconnect between clinical rotations and didactic teaching? Say hello to Success NPs clinical booklet guides.
As NPs ourselves, we know how valuable it is to have a resource that helps bridge the gap between clinical and class. So we created the digital resource to do just that. Our clinical booklets cover 5 major NP tracks: psych, adult, peds, family, and women's health. Success NPs wants to create tools and provide support NPs need to thrive in their careers.
So why wait? Check out our Success NP Etsy shop, linked in the show notes, for our digital guides and other digital clinical resources. Now, let's get back to the conversation.
Yeah, you have to either pay for it, depending on the private practice that's charging, or through another program, which, you have to consider that, especially if you're on a tight budget. School's expensive, so it's a thing to consider.
Yeah. And your clinical experience is so important for what you're going to look like as an NP, and your confidence, your self-efficacy, like how well you think you can do something. Your clinical experiences really do help shape and mold your exposure, but also your, your belief in yourself. And so you don't really want bad clinical experiences time and time and time after.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
All right. So the next thing we want to talk about is like faculty expertise and support. That's another really big winning moment, at least a big winning area for your program that you're choosing. Is, do you feel they're there to help you learn? Can you reach out to your faculty? Are they providing mentorship, support? I just feel like some nurse practitioner students that I would see and opportunities that they got because they got really close to faculty members, that I was like, she's getting that because she's close to this doctor. Dang it. That really wasn't what I was focused in on. But I think that's something. What about you? What are your
and vice versa. So I think a lot of online programs right now, nothing against online programs, but I feel that the struggle is real to connect the students with the faculty, because I feel like they see the faculty as just punching in, punching out, when it's more than that. And I'm sure there are great, it goes both ways, not just with online programs, like it could be in person as well. But you want to feel that connection. You want to feel like you're being supported, because it's hard. It's hard to go through nurse practitioner school, and you're stressed enough as it is. You don't want to have the added stress of struggling to feel supported in your program.
I agree with you. That's another good point. You just feel alone on top of now not also. But when you're going online, you're not in a classroom like nursing school. We had clinicals and other nursing students, and so you all would study together. You made friends, whereas when everything's online, you're just a little lone island.
Right.
And it just, I don't know. I think it contributes to how we feel when we go into work too. Yeah. Then we go into work and now you're the only nurse practitioner in your clinic. And again, lone island. It's just, I'm just...
Well, also, I don't know if it was like this for you, but when we were in clinical, your faculty would do a site visit in person, and you would feel the fear of God in you, because you were going to get grilled in front of the physician, the nurse practitioner, your faculty. It's not like that now. It's a quick 5-minute phone call, really not a lot of, substance to it. And you're kind of like, is that it? Not that it has to be so intimidating of an experience, but I think that just a little bit more investment. So you kind of want to find that school that is invested in you. I mean, you're investing in them financially to guide you, and they
Right?
want them to be invested in you.
Yeah, I agree. So then another aspect of this program, choosing a program you want to be mindful of is scheduling flexibility aligns with your lifestyle and logistical needs. I've seen some students that are in school in Alabama, but live here in Florida.
Yeah.
And so they're flying and all this craziness.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm thinking I'm staying a little more local just for me personally. When I was getting my master's and my doctoral degrees, I actually was able to go to some classes and I was able to actually sit in on a class. So I would rearrange my schedule at my other job so that I'm like, can I have this day off? Because I want to go to class. So that flexibility of being able to go and sit in a class and listen to your instructor, again, pre-COVID and how everything got switched around. But that was actually kind of nice. I got to actually have some community.
Especially if you're in school with kids and a family, I think you did your doctorate before kids, right? Or no? Yeah, you did your doctorate before kids. And I got my master's before kids too. So I think it's very different when you have kids and you're in school. You need more of that hybrid, remote off if you need it, just because it's just a little different. I mean, pre-kids, post-kids. But if that's the flexibility you need to figure that out before you get into that program.
Yeah, good advice. And then I also want to talk about two more things.
Yeah.
And that would be research opportunities and networking. Your net worth is your network. So yeah, research opportunities. If you're into that, if you're wanting that for your career, again, speaking to my doctoral students, you're going to need to be in an area where that's rich in that stuff. So little tiny schools that don't have a lot of opportunities for that stuff, that probably isn't going to be a good fit. I don't know if you can speak on that, if you have any tips on that.
I went, when I did my master's, it was a smaller school. So, the reason why I had gone there is because the hospital had facilitated a program through that to get an advanced degree. So it probably wouldn't have been my first pick because I did prefer my undergraduate experience with a larger university, the University of Florida, where we met. I think that it just depends on what you're looking for. I agree with you. If you're looking for those research opportunities, you need to find a larger school that has the funding, that has the grants, the grant opportunity. Because the smaller school might not be it.
Yeah. And then networking, of course.
Right.
The more that they have alumni opportunities, connecting with other students, you can tap into your alumni for, if they've got a really robust program for mentorship, your opportunities, preceptorships. I mean, if they have a good alumni, you can actually say, hey, listen, I want to reach out. You can they're all connected so that it can be opportunities for preceptorships. That is something to be considering, asking them, like, what does that look like?
Right.
You can ask questions around that when you're thinking about your school program.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the networking, it might be difficult as a student to secure those connections, like leaving your resume at the end of a preceptorship. It's important to build those connections. I worked at my first job as a nurse practitioner was where I had precepted for women's health. So I ended up working there and I had built connections with the physicians and the nurse practitioners there to help foster that relationship so that I could work there. So those are really important. And I think it's a challenge for a lot of people to network, especially with social media and everything like that. But you have to try and at least make sure that that's in place before you get into a program like that.
Yeah. Well, very good advice. And that wraps up today's episode of Success NPs. We hope that you guys found this information helpful and that we helped you start the process of thinking about if the advanced degree in nursing, either a doctoral or master's degree program, is for you, kind of how to start the ball rolling, where to start thinking and processing. And again, join us next time as we dive into another episode of our podcast and keeping you guys empowering your NP journeys. And guys, the Success NP quote of the day: success is never final. Failure is never fatal. It's the courage that counts. Thanks for hanging out with us.
All right. See you soon.
Take care.